Hey, what's up, folks? It's Joe. I was going out, and let me actually adjust this a little bit lower. All right. I'm going to see what we have here. I was going out to deliver some packages, and it's Christmas Eve right now. This will be released on Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, ho, ho, ho. And one of the people was like, I'm sorry, I'm Jewish, so I don't really care that much. Our holiday was last week. But somebody was like, I feel so bad that you have to deliver late at night. Here's a bottle of wine. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to say no to that. Never been much of a wine drinker. But I decided to do a little impromptu, unscripted thing today while you're sitting with your family. I don't have a corkscrew, so I'm just going to massacre this. I have a bunch of corks that somebody gave me because I thought I was going to use them for a project, but I ended up not. So I'll just massacre this cork and then replace it with another one because I don't have a corkscrew. Only a man could do this. A woman would be like, let me go to the store and get something nice to not fuck up the corks. I don't know if that's good or bad or dry or sweet. Sounds like a dry wine. Not that I know anything about wine, though. Stop cock-blocking me, wine. Ah, it smells like wine. Let's see if it's good. I don't really have a taste for wine, so kind of want to develop a taste for wine. Something I want to do. The Negocel 2018 Viognier. Number 37. Oh, it's quite good. It's from right near where I used to live. And it's in Sonoma County. I was in Marin County. Probably like an hour away from wherever this place is. Okay, it's pretty alcoholic. 14.3%. It's pretty alcoholic for a wine. Well, thank you, random guy from Amazon. Guy gave me this bottle of wine. Much appreciated. It's actually quite good. Not much of a wine drinker, but I do appreciate this wine. It's kind of sweet, but not like overly sweet, which is nice. Today, I want to share a little bit about reflection. Not New Year's. I'm Jewish, so as a reflection on the year. I have goals for next year. I won't be sharing them because sometimes when you have goals, keeping them to yourself makes them more powerful. At least until you have some action behind you. You have some momentum. I've already let one of my goals go and it's lost a ton of its punch, and I regret that. So, I won't be telling you my goals, but I will say it's important for you to have your goals. Take journal, or Evernote, or whatever. I make journals, so if you want to get a commission for my hand-bound journal, hit me up. Write down, first of all, your biggest win for this past year. If you think about where you were at the beginning of the year, go back then. Think about what your goals were. Think about where you are now. What's the difference? There's going to be a gap. And the gap is going to include a difference in where you're at. And if you think, I don't want to go back to where I was, that means this year was a win. Some of this, I just want to say, I don't want to take all credit for this line of thought. Mentor of mine, or a coach of mine, I guess you could say, mentor, probably about the same thing. Andy, from Kill Your Inner Loser, I'll link to his channel below. He did a podcast on this. So kudos to you and props. I'm going to riff on it a little bit and then go in my own directions. It's important to figure out what your biggest win is. And if you don't want to be where you were at, then this year was a win. And then figure out where you want to be next year. Write those things down, at least to yourself. I would actually suggest don't tell people. I find that my goals are more powerful when I keep them in my mind. I keep them to myself. Super valuable. Now, I also want to talk about reflection. I want to get some stuff off my chest and use it as an invitation for you to get some stuff off of your chest, because part of it is what do you want next year? And part of it is where do you not want to return next year? Where do you not want to go? I was attracted to this guy's channel, Andy Kill You're a Loser. He has a website that helps guys blast off their sex game, get their sausage into a lot of hot dog buns, have sex with many sexy ladies, make everybody happy, make them happy, make the ladies happy, and just improve the lives in general. Really, pretty cool guy. And it took me a while to realize there is this deep insecurity in me that was brought out. Back when I was 22, I went to Rutgers. I was going to a community college. I graduated with my associates, and I went to Rutgers. I had a hard start in life, so a lot of things. School in particular, I also was not a very good listener. Still not a good listener. I don't like to listen to other people. I do sometimes. I just prefer to go my own direction. It's a part of my personality. It's for better or for worse. It's a strength in a lot of ways, and a weakness in some. I wanted to, I was going to Rutgers and I was improving myself in a lot of ways. One of those ways was women. And one of those ways was content creating. And I dropped out of college once I realized I hated programming. I dropped out of college and started a blog, which turned into a podcast, which is now this YouTube channel. And I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just do this forever. But then when I needed money, I didn't know how to make money. And I went with my tail between my legs, begging to my family. This was when I was traveling a few times. This happened, but when I was traveling most recently in 2017, around the world. I went to Colombia and Latvia, and I begged them and begged them and begged them. Like, nope, you dropped out of Rutgers. We told you we weren't supporting you anymore. And they didn't like the direction I was going. They didn't think it was safe for me to be a content creator and start making content. They were like, no, that's not cool. You can't do that. And I settled down in Austin, and I took some of my father's financial help in return for me. Well, it wasn't totally in return for me following a more conventional path, but I did try coding again. I did try programming. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, piece of shit. Fucking press the fucking button. And so I tried going back on my decision to drop out. I was like, well, what if I do coding? And I feel like I fucking sold out. I was on this trajectory where I was traveling the world and people really appreciated and respected me because I did something that was hard to do. I dropped out of Rutgers, and with everybody telling me not to, I did it. And it was such an amazing moment in my life. And I went back on it. I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to do the conventional thing. And I tried it. That was a couple months ago. And there are reasons why I wanted to try it, but damn, I feel like I fucking sold out. I feel really fucked up because I feel like I killed my values. I was in this amazing trajectory, and because things weren't certain, things weren't sure, I might have been like right close to the edge of breaking through. And that's something that really that Andy brought up when I met him, because he is the version of me that never stopped. He's the version of me that kept going, that was not ashamed of wanting to get a lot of sex and wanting to get laid, because he's like so into, he helps guys get laid. He helps guys figure out how to get their sex lives on point, which is something that I think is awesome. Sex is great for guys, for girls, for everybody. And I really appreciate how he gets guys laid in a way that makes everybody happy. Because one of the contrasts out there is you have a lot of guys teaching other guys how to get laid and not really taking the girls into account, and I really don't like that idea. But I really appreciated his thing because it's like, that's who I would be. Because that's one of the journeys I was on, was making a fulfilling sex life. And I was thankfully, I was pretty good at it. And like, made a great time for me and all the ladies I was with. And it was pretty cool. But, so that's one thing I'm envious of Andy about. And all envy is you see something that you like about somebody and you feel like you can't have it. So I guess envious is the wrong word. It's more like I admire it. I admire it because if you say I like it about somebody and I can have it, then it's admiration. If you say I like it about somebody and I can't have it, then that's jealousy. So I admire that he's unashamedly comfortable with sex. Something that I'd like to gain back. I feel like I have a lot of shame in myself about that. Number 2 is he's unashamed about going his own direction. And I was unashamed about going my own direction, and I was on a roll. I was on a roll making podcasts and content, and I felt fucking great about all this. And then when I came to Austin, when I took some financial help from my family, I kind of sold out. I kind of let go of my values of freedom, congruence, and kind of sold a little bit of my soul, if you will. Didn't like it about myself at all. But I did it. And so this is an ode to the importance of reflecting upon the past year, because a lot of this was the past year when I sold out. I recently, actually today, just cut off my last financial tie to my family, which I'm very thankful of because it's freeing. I feel free. I'm responsible for my money now, finally. 100%. I'm responsible for all my money. And I don't need anyone else to approve of what I do for me to gain for my finances. I'm the one responsible. So that makes me very happy. And so what is it this past year that is weighing on your conscience? What are you doing this past year that goes against what you stand for? What is it that bugs you at night? What is it that seeps through all your relationships? What are you jealous of others? Because what you're jealous of others about, what you're envious of others, is really what you admire about them, coupled with a judgment that you can't or won't get that yourself. Why is that not available to you? What if it is available to you? But why do you think it's not? Once you figure out why you think it's not, you let go of that, it's a lot easier to get. It won't necessarily fall into your lap, but sometimes it almost will. And if it doesn't, it's a lot easier to get, and you'll be able to see the pathways to it. Because if part of you is judging yourself for wanting something or telling yourself you can't have it, and the other part of yourself is wanting it, you're going to be like driving with the emergency brake on. And that's only if you want it more than you're trying to stop yourself. If you're trying to stop yourself more than you want it, it's like you're driving in reverse. So take the emergency brake off. Admit to yourself how you've been holding yourself back, what you've been doing to yourself that has hurt you. Because once you do that, I find that it is so fucking freeing. Because there's so many positive fucks out there that are like, oh, just focus on the positive, focus on what you want, all this. And that's, don't get me wrong, it's fucking important. But it's also really important to admit to yourself, to put a name to what has gone wrong. And once you put a name on your fear, once you put a name on your sadness, once you put a name on the pain that you have, it disappears. You don't have that pain anymore. You don't have that sadness. It doesn't have that power over you anymore. It's like Voldemort. It's like Harry when Harry's like, oh no, I'm calling Voldemort Voldemort. Fuck you guys who call him he who must not be named. Look at me, I'm a fucking nerd. But he's right. Be Harry Potter. Put a name to your fears. Go in the past year. Look at everything you've done. Everything you want to do. And everything you've done that was bad. And everything you don't want to do next year. Because what that does, it frees you up. It frees up all this energy that is kept, like trying to gnaw at yourself, trying to remind yourself, don't do this again, this hurt, this hurt, this hurt. Just fucking admit to yourself that you might have fucked up a few times. I know a lot of people want to focus on the positive. I think that's very important to do so. But I think it's also equally important, if not more important. And that is my contribution. I think it's more important to focus on what you don't want, because once you admit to yourself that you're not perfect, once you admit to yourself that you don't want to go back to this specific certain place, then you don't have to. It's only when you try to keep it from yourself that you do. So reflect on your year, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Focus on next year. Focus on making a positive 2021. A lot of people are saying 2020 was a fucked up year. I don't really give a shit. I think a lot of people are focusing on the things outside them they can't control too much. There's really not much you can control about any of this. So why get all caught up in it? There's nothing you can do. And if there was something you could do, and you were complaining and not doing something, well then that's on you. If you really wanted to change some of the shit, go fucking run for office. Go fucking make a petition so that you could like get enough signatures to sign something into law. Like, that's what really fucking bothers me about some people who complain about politics, about like, oh, Trump this, or Biden that, or election this, or COVID that. Okay, stop fucking complaining and either ignore it or do something about it. Complaining is going to get you fucking nowhere. So I'm not going to give into the, oh, 2020 was crazy, because it wasn't crazy for me. It's like fucking roll with the changes, or check out of life and do something else, like fucking go on a heroin binge or something. If you don't want to roll with the changes, life has changed, bro. Life's changed. You don't want to be cool with that? Maybe life's not for you. Life's changed. If you don't want life to change, then you're going to be in for a big fucking surprise, because life changes. And you have to roll with the change. Or try to be resilient with them, or try to hold up your own structure within life. But you have to accept that life's going to throw you curveballs. And I'm not going, like, I'm going to acknowledge the meme that, I say meme in quotes, it is a meme, but like it's something I fucking hate, that people are like, oh, 2020, like let's just do a restart. Well, fuck you. Like it's not 2020 that did this to you. You did it to yourself. Like a lot of people made a lot of fucking progress this year because they had a lot of time to themselves. Like they looked at the positive. They're like, okay, well, I can't control all these like fucked up shit that's going on. Like, you know, some people think it's COVID, that's shit. I think it's more so like the lockdowns and the reaction to it. I got it. No fucking big deal for me. Big deal for some people I know. I know friends of friends have died, and it's very sad. But like, you really gotta come to the picture and figure out, like, dude, like, you can't just focus on all the things that went wrong. You have to focus on what went right. So it marries the other idea. It's really fucking important to see how you went wrong. And maybe what you did this year is maybe you didn't focus on the positive, and you looked directly at the problems in your life and didn't take your eyes off them and didn't look at any solutions. And then you got stuck in the problems. You're like, oh, it's a shitty year. I'm just going to eat. I'm just going to like get fat. I'm not going to work out. I got fit as fuck this year. I don't know about you guys, but I really used this year to my advantage. I got fit as fuck. I organized my house. It's really fucking comfortable here. I don't know, man. You got to use what you have to your advantage. You can't cry that you're not getting what you want if you're not doing anything about it. You can be sad about it. You can be frustrated about it, and you can deal with those emotions while you're taking action towards what you want. Basically, I'm saying don't be a bitch. Cancel me if you want. Unlike this video. I don't give a fuck. If you don't like that message, fuck you. You're not going to like my channel. I'm usually very kind and not super polarizing. I kind of want to change that because I like sharing my opinions. I have hidden it for a lot of videos because I like this to be about passion and about excitement and about like just exploring fun things. But sometimes you got to get down and dirty into the dumps and be like, what is the shit in this situation? Like, what is happening that I don't like? What is happening that I really want to change? And what I really want to change about, what I really want to share. And I guess you're only watching this if you agree with me, because you'd probably like not have watched 20 fucking minutes into this. Shit's happening. Life is throwing you curveballs. Fucking work with it. Yeah, maybe throw them back, but like, you really gotta like allow the changes to flow through you. You can't fucking fight every single moment life is trying to throw you a curveball, because life throws you curveballs fucking constantly. You have to be the rock in the storm. Fuck anyone who says that. You're supposed to complain and be complacent and, oh, it's okay, you didn't do anything in 2020. I mean, it's too late to change that. So I would say forgive yourself if you didn't and move on. I had a very close person to me from Colombia. She messaged me. She really wanted to go and do fashion design to make her own company. And she messaged me. I messaged her actually. I was like, hey, how's that going? And she's like, oh, 2020 has been a hard year. I haven't been doing anything about it. I'm like, well, I know friends that have started companies in 2020 and they've been fine, or like they've been growing their company in 2020 and there's no issues. Like, you make what you get the cards you're dealt, and then you do what you can with them. And there's almost always something you can do with it. And she was like, oh my God, you're inspiring the fuck out of me. Like, let me go do shit. She came back. She's like, here's a couple logos. She's like, right to action. I fucking love that. And I thought that was really fucking awesome. It's like, I was really fucking glad. I think she just needed a push. Like, it's probably the fact that too many people around her are telling her that it's okay, that she's just complacent. And you need people around you that don't tell you that tell you that, hey, yes, appreciate the fact that you have these emotions and be kind to yourself. I'm not saying be a dick to yourself, but I'm also saying point yourself in the right direction. Yeah, if you're frustrated, fucking like don't be a dick to yourself and like push yourself to the ground, but also recognize that sometimes you gotta be hard and you gotta have calluses, build calluses, and fucking take the world by its horns and do what you need to do. So I guess it's a little long pep talk, a little bit of a heart-to-heart for this new year. Some nice wine, some nice mood lighting, and a little bit of gratitude for the guy who gave me this, a little bit of gratitude for the many wonderful people and friends I've met and broadened and made more depth in my relationships with this year. Y'all know who you are, and if you don't, if you're worried that I forgotten about you, text me, or message me on Instagram or whatever. If you are one of those friends, you have that information, and I will 100% give you a pep talk to show you how important you are to me. I'm grateful for all of y'all, all of my friends in my life. Very grateful. Happy to give you pep talk, help you out, motivate you anytime. Fuck that shit. The fucking camera was like maximum recording time has been reached, you piece of fucking crap. It only does 30-minute movies because that means it can categorize itself as a photo camera and not a movie camera, because movie cameras are taxed higher in certain countries. So fuck you, Canon, you piece of shit. All right, to 2021, L'chaim.